do that. There is not enough courageous managers to basically deselect the weak link. We don't deselect the weak link. And as a result, we create an organization which is weak, even though we have good people there. And often enough, it throws off different problems. So the concept of unintended consequences is this. People will leave. One is that they would say that my manager is not courageous enough to build a great organization. You know, we have a saying in management, people do not leave organizations, they leave their managers. Most time they leave their managers because their managers are not able to do system thinking in terms of fixing the problem that needs to be fixed. And you know that. You know, many of us we can see, you know, not that we leave the organization, but we leave basically managers who are not competent. Right? And that is applied system thinking. So the other thing also is the mental models. Mental models are no more than best practices. We continue to look for best practices to emulate. Nothing, you know, we shouldn't be ashamed of copying. Sometimes it is flattery because we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We adopt best practices that other people follow. And we can innovate it as well. We can improve on it. Building shared vision is a collective. It's looking at the whole. It's a system thinking approach of looking at the whole and everybody, you know, moving in the right direction. If you do not have a shared vision, ladies and gentlemen, you could end up running very fast in the wrong direction. You can be very efficient in doing the wrong things. So the shared vision is very important to make sure that your goals are directed, everybody share their views, and then you do it very fast and very efficient. So do the right thing first, and then do it right. Right? Do the right thing first, and that is basically the shared vision, the goals that you want to, and then do it right. So you are running very fast in the right direction, not running very fast in the wrong direction. So this is the concept of shared vision. Team learning, of course, we practice KM. Knowledge is power. And people are afraid to share the power because sometimes, you know, knowledge hoard is knowledge loss. So knowledge share is knowledge gain. You know, very simple. In knowledge management is that it's intangible. It's in my head. If I give you a unit of knowledge, I expect you to give me another unit of knowledge. Each of us will gain in that. We have 2 units of knowledge. If I give you, you know, 1,000 USD, I have 1,000 USD less. You see what I mean? So intangible things, we lose that, but in knowledge, we don't. So when people say that knowledge is power, it's no more basically, you know, in that context. Knowledge is only power when it is shared. All right? So that is the concept. And of course, system thinking brings the whole thing back. Now, I did a research about 8 years ago with Mr. Chris Chance, and this is a system approach. We pulled together a number of modeling. Modeling is a system approach. All right? You can see it quickly. It's called transformance. Transforming knowledge into performance. And what we've done here is that we do the SESI model, right? The SESI model, the socialization, tacit to tacit, externalization, tacit to explicit, and then the hybrid or the combination, which is explicit to explicit, and then from explicit, we practice it, we internalize it, and then we apply it. And that's the internalization. So the SESI model becomes the engine of knowledge creation. And with that, we introduced process. We came up with a 7-step process called CASTA. What is CASTA? C-A-S-S-T-A-R. You should be able to create knowledge. If you can create knowledge, right, you can actually, or if you cannot create knowledge, you acquire it. If you can create and acquire knowledge, you can actually store it. If you can store knowledge, you can share the knowledge. You can transfer the knowledge, which is the T. You then apply the knowledge, and then you renew the knowledge again. So it's a cycle, the process cycle. In any good management system, you will have this, you know, 7th process. Then it is embellished with technology. Around that layer, you build groupware, you build, you know, what we call the your ERP, your you know, customer relationship, CRM. So you use technology to build around that system. What for? All this basically ends up building a learning organization for you. And what is the purpose of learning organization? Do not just build learning organization for the sake of building learning organization. What you do is that you fit into the balanced scorecard. The balanced scorecard is a systemic thinking. You know, in the old days, we used to measure success by profitability in terms of financial numbers. No more. These are the tangible. The intangible comes from your customer relationship, or what we call the relationship capital. Your intellectual model or your organizational, basically, capital model is as follows. You've got your financial capital, which is your funds and your money. And then you have what we call the customer relationship, which is the relationship capital. And of course, with Kaplan, those of you who have done balanced scorecard, you have also the internal processes. And these are what we call your organization or your structural capital. Your quality, your branding. These are not capitalized in the books of account. It's intangible, you can't see it. And then finally, you have your learning and growth, which is your human capital. So very important, it all balances into this model. And when you build KM, we call it KW. You have software, you have hardware. What we are trying to create here is knowledgeware. And then it comes, and we have a 8 process here. So this, as you can see, this is a Nonaka and Taguchi SESI model, for those of you who practice KM. And I think, the Knowledge Management Professional Center Asia is very good. You have got Leif Evinson, you have got Professor Taguchi to come and speak to you. That's very, difficult to get those people. So this is the model. And in fact, this is not in your slide, but if you wish to have it, please contact Kuntarat. Now, very important is the systemic knowledge here. The systemic knowledge here is when we combine tacit with tacit. You have your own knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. You hear something from me today as an insight. You combine those two knowledge, you have a hybrid knowledge. And that's where innovation comes through. Innovation do not come through from our own paradigm. Innovation always comes through from someone from the outside and who asks the silly question. So believe it, ladies and gentlemen, there is no such thing as a stupid or a silly question. Encourage your people to ask a question, because you know why? This could be the question that can solve some of your biggest problem. So I just want to articulate that, and I'll move on. This is the 7th process where we introduce the performance model. Those of you who are in KM who are interested, you can find out more about that. So I got a few more minutes, and I just want to run through this. So KM is a systemic approach, to the way that we develop a system. And you need to apply systems thinking in knowledge management and also innovation system in terms of how we look at the whole and we connect the dots. So the practice of systems thinking for KM today, for those of you who are there, one is that it allows us to handle complex problems. It deals with changing situation as I move. Not only here. The change does not come like that. It actually moves into a time dimension as well. So you need now to learn how to change the way you change. So solving complex issue where one issue depends on the past action taken by another related issue, focus on long-term solution, understanding organization as system and changes which is taking place all the time, and then it promotes organization communication. And this is another one. Those of you who practice the 7S model, McKinsey, I just want to quickly run through it. It's the way that they did it is they apply systemic thinking. It basically deals with certain modules, certain subparts. Every part must function properly in order to get synergy. As I said, the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. So they have the shared values, they have structure, all right? Now, we always say strategy follows structure. So you look at strategy first, structure follows, and then system. And then these are the hard, if you like, subsystem. And the soft one are the staff, your competency of your people, the skills of your people, and then your style as well. All right? So again, you can see how applied system thinking is being done in organization through modeling. All right? Modeling is a way of applied system thinking. And again, quality system. Strategic thinking is, many of us have done SWOT analysis, the PESTEL analysis, and now with the Blue Ocean, you do the 4-action framework, the RERC analysis. So these are systemic way of thinking. I just want to show, these are actually are available on Google. We just, share that information. Quality culture, look at that, all the system, strategic planning, system thinking and action, information system, human resource development, quality service, visionary leadership, and then you get quality success culture. Just moving on, and this is social CSR. CSR is a very systemic thinking